Hello. In today's video, I want to show you how Terraform can be used to create resources in AWS Cloud Provider. In the same way, resources can be created in any other provider, but to add such functionality, we would need to install Terraform Provider because Terraform itself do not have such functionality. So what I would do, I would Google Terraform AWS Provider, and I would open the registry Terraform. And here there is the button Use Provider. Here is the description of the provider, how it can be used, but the simplest way is to just click here. And as for now, I would copy just this part. Second, we would need the later. And Terraform code can be stored in the one file, but it makes most sense to logically split different piece of code in the different files. So as for providers, I will do file with name provider.tf. And I will put content of this file. What's specified here? Which provider to use? It's AWS. Where to take this provider? HashiCorp AWS. That means that we are taking this provider from Terraform registry. And which version of profile provider to use? If you need more information about the version, what's the changelog, you can check this information in the GitHub. So I would do the same search, but this time I would put GitHub. And there is the releases, and I can see what was added or changed in all of the available provider versions. But in most cases, it makes sense to use the latest one. So this piece of the configuration will be used later once we specify on which AWS account is to apply changes. But right now we have this code and we need to install this provider. It's pretty simple to do. It needs to be executed command terraform init. But before we do that, we need to specify which version of the Terraform are we going to use. So what I would do, I'm going to create file with the name Terraform version. Sorry, there is the typo. Let me type it one more time. Terraform version. And in this file, I'm going to specify which Terraform version I'm going to use. So I would also check what is version available right now. I can do it from the Terraform download page. I can do Terraform download. And I would be able to see that right now I have latest version 1.2.6, but also I can check this using the tfenv. I can do tfenv list remote, and I can choose the version which I want to use, and I'm going to use the latest one, 1.2.6. So I would put here 1.2.6. And now every time I'm going to run Terraform from this directory, tfn will automatically switch me to the correct version. And what I do next is to execute Terraform init. And as you may see, it started to download the version of the Terraform because I don't have it installed locally. So for this part is responsible tfenv, correct version of the Terraform downloaded, and enabled it for use. And then it started to initialize the backend. It's downloaded the plugins. I have right now only one specified provider. It's found this provider, downloaded, and everything is initialized. But let's see what was created here. I can do ls-la. Here was created .terraform folder and terraform log HCL. Let's check what is inside of this folder. So this file is responsible for versioning. So every time when I add some new module here, I will run terraform init, and this file will be updated with the version which I'm going to use and hashes to do validation if like correct module is downloaded from the Terraform registry. And inside of the Terraform, there is like the big folder structure, as you may see, like this Terraform, then providers, then registry terraform.io, HashiCorp, AWS version, and finally the binary of AWS provider. Now, once I have this, I can run Terraform plan and Terraform apply to apply the command. But first, we need to write the code. I prepare here the snippet of the code, which create AWS instance on AWS. In the resource section, I'm specifying what kind of resource I'm going to create, and this information can be taken from the Terraform documentation. So let me find the example. I will Google EC2 Instance Terraform, and I would immediately find this page, resource AWS instance, and here is the described all possible options which we can use for creating EC2 instance. There is a lot of them, but you don't need to set all of them. Like, just choose what options do you need and you would be able to use them. Also, there is the attribute references. This is what information is available after instance is created. We can kind of reference this information in other Terraform resources. But let's try to create instance now. So I prepared kind of very minimal with just AMI, instance types, subnet, security groups, and some simple text. And I need to populate this data. And I can take this data from the AWS. Right now, I would do it manually, but in future, we would use like the different kind of Terraform data to get this information dynamically. I need to take AMI, so the simplest way is to click Launch Instance, and I would switch to the old UI. Sorry, because I have the ability to copy AMI from here. Because for with new UI, I cannot copy this AMI ID. So this will be my AMI ID. This will be Amazon Linux 2 with kernel version 5.10 and SSD. So I would take this and I would put it right here. Next, what I need is the instance type. We can use something small like T2 micro. But this information also can be found on AWS page. I can go here, should be somewhere here, instance types, but it can like take some time to load this information. And also I can Google it, AWS instance types. And here I have the example of all of the pages. It's a Russian page, I need English. So here is the information about all instances, about the generation, hardware specification, and you should be able to choose the instance types which you need. Also, there is pretty nice resource. I think that's no. There is some resource which give you can compare this one. You can compare information between different kind of instances. You can add some filter to do the searching. Is pretty useful resource when you need to find something specific. It's really easy to use it here. And as you may see, this page was also opened and there is all the instances available. I would choose T2 Micro, which has 1 vCPU, 1 gigabyte of memory, but it's pretty cheap to use. And final information which is required, that's security group and subnet. Subnet can be taken from the VPC section. I'm using the default VPC, which has bunch of subnets. So I can choose basically any of this subnet. I would choose this one. But in theory, you would build your own subnet where you have, like, it can be private or public. But right now, just for example, this is enough. And final thing which I need, that's the security group. So I'm also going to use the default security group, which is come default from the with VPC. But like appropriate security group need to be created for the instance. I also have another security groups. I would just take 2 of them, just for example. This is the list, and I can have as many as I need. And tags is very useful information when instances you need to build the cost usage report for some specific instances or for specific application, and in general very useful when you need to like let people know what this instance is used for, because if you see the instance without any tags, it's very hard to understand what this instance is responsible for. So I would add the tag name and I would add the tag environment. It's still not super helpful, but I can add something else here. Let me remove these quotes here. Like it can be something like application equal to web app, for example. And based of combination of these tags, like if someone came in few years after this instance is created, like, they would know what was the purpose of this instance. And I have here the tags and I have the volumes tags. This is because I want to tag like an instance itself and also like EBS volumes for these instances. Okay, and right now I don't have in Visual Studio Code Terraform Formatter installed, so I can run from the command line Terraform FMT recursive, and it's kind of make code look nicer. Final thing which I need is to configure the provider. I have here the provider, and for provider I need to specify which AWS account I'm going to use and which region I'm going to use. So I would add here two options, region, and my region will be US East 1. And also I would specify here profile. And I have just one profile which is named default, so I'm going to use this profile, and I would do Terraform FMT one more time to make it look nicer. And now I'm ready to run Terraform plan to see what Terraform is going to create. So let me execute Terraform plan. And it was pretty fast. Terraform print me this output. It said that it's going to create like just one resource with the name demo. And here is the bunch of the options which we can set from the Terraform. As you may see, most of them has known after apply. This means we didn't specify this option inside of the Terraform code, so value will be known once Terraform is applied. But there is some like type, subnet, tags, security groups is here. After I run Terraform plan, I can run Terraform apply as suggested by here. I can run Terraform apply, but disadvantage here that kind of Terraform plan is executed one more time, and there is like small chance, but there may be differences between this Terraform plan execution and this Terraform apply. So suggested option is to use a bit different approach. So I can run again Terraform plan, but I can specify as out tf.plan. File name can be any. What will happen in this case? Terraform plan is generated. I can review what's going to be created. And here Terraform suggests to perform exactly those actions, run following command to apply. So I would just take this command and I will apply it. And in this case, Terraform is not going to ask me anything. You just simply take what was generated by Terraform plan and will create those resources. So now I can go to here to the AWS, to the instances. And as you may see, my demo instance is in pending state right now. Terraform is still creating the instance, but all the tags already should be here. Security group which I specified also should be here. So all the settings which I specified are here. And instance now in the running state, everything is fine. And now, like when I am done with my server and I don't need it anymore, I can run Terraform destroy. And what Terraform will do, it will try to destroy all the resources which were created by this Terraform. And as you may see, it said this time will be not created by destroy, and all the resources, all values will be set to null. I'm going to type yes and apply those changes. Now it's destroying, and I should be able to see that instance right now is shutting down, and once it will be shut down, it will be destroyed. It shouldn't take just a few seconds. By the way, security groups and VPC won't be destroyed. They will still be here because they are not managed by this Terraform, and they only reference it as already created resources. So it takes 30 seconds, and now instance is terminated. Thank you for your attention.